Like, after this movie, we're getting a Bambi movie coming out. We're getting a Peter Pan horror film. We're getting a Pinocchio horror film. And then we get a whole film with them together like the Avengers. They literally said themselves that, I think it's called Pulliverse, saying this is going to be like the Avengers with those characters. And I don't know why I am curious to see where this freaking universe is going, especially after this film. Well, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is ICD Movie Reviews. My name is On the Brinker, and yes, I'm going to review the most highly anticipated sequel. I cannot believe this is actually happening. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. This is by the same director of the first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Frake-Waterfield. Hopefully I said his name correctly. And yeah, this is the sequel to one of the worst movies I've seen last year, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And I hated that film. It's definitely one of the worst horror films I've ever seen. But what did I think of this sequel? Let's actually find out. Not wanting to live in the shadows any longer, Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Owl, and Tigger take their fight to the town of Ashdown, leaving a blood trail of death and mayhem in their wake. Now, like I said, I am not a fan of the first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I just find the idea of making Winnie the Pooh like a horror icon is so stupid in my personal opinion. And, of course, I was not excited for the sequel because of it. And also, before I saw this film, we found out that this is going to be a cinematic universe. Yes, this is literally going to be a cinematic universe with childhood characters as horror icons. Yes, it's called the Poohiverse. Like, after this movie, we're getting a Bambi movie coming out. We're getting a Peter Pan horror film. We're getting a Pinocchio horror film. And then we get a whole film with them together like the Avengers. They literally said themselves that, I think it's called Pulliverse, saying this is going to be like the Avengers with those characters. And I don't know why I am curious to see where this freaking universe is going, especially after this film, because I'm actually really surprised with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Now, is this movie bad? Yes. Is this movie terrible? Yes. Is this movie atrocious? Absolutely. But the difference between this movie and the first movie is that this movie brings out exactly what I wanted from the first movie. A movie that is so bad that it's actually fun and hilarious. The first movie, I find it so bad that it's boring. The characters are so annoyingly bad that I wasn't even laughing. I was just like, get me out of this film. This film brings out exactly what I wanted. A guilty pleasure. Like, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 is the right representation of a guilty pleasure. This film has so many moments where I find it so bad that I actually had a good time with it. I watched this movie with the same friend that I watched the first one with. And we were the only ones in the theater. So we were talking, we were laughing, we were cursing at the film. And we were honestly having a great time because, man, I was surprised that I was actually very entertained of how bad this movie is. Now, I would say there are some improvements with the film. The kills in the film are actually fun. They are so ridiculous in the film. There are some kills where I'm just like, Jesus Christ. But I had a fun time with the kills. The kills are actually not that bad in this film. And I would say the look of Pooh and Piglet and Owl and Tigger and stuff, the makeup they put on it is better than the first movie. It's not good, but it is better. It's definitely a massive improvement because I hate the look of Pooh and Piglet in the first movie. This movie at least had some improvements and they actually tried their best with it. Now, the acting in the film. It's better than the first movie. Like, the one who played Christopher Robin in this film actually did try in this film. He was fine in the film. But yeah, the rest of the acting, it's all around bad. It's not bad to the point where it's boring. It's actually bad that I find hilarious, which I'm actually very thankful for. I'm not gonna lie, there's this old man character in this film that is explaining exposition. And oh my god, it was like a whole 6 minutes of this guy. And you don't understand what the heck he's saying. Like, literally, I'm whispering to my friend going, what the heck is this guy saying? And he even told me he doesn't know. Until we kind of find out throughout the middle of the film. It's just, oh my god, it just shows the acting is still bad in this movie. But I gotta say, guys, this is one of those films that you just have to know what you're going into. You have to expect that this movie's gonna be terrible. You have to expect this movie's gonna be bad. Like, come on, Winnie the Pooh is a horror icon, like, Really? But at least this film presented the way that I wanted this film to present. So bad that it knows it's bad, but it's just trying to have fun with it. And honestly, I was fairly entertained for Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2. I would definitely invite friends over and watch this film, and it's actually a really good time to watch with your friends. But nonetheless, guys, this is still a bad movie. This is still a terrible movie. This can still be on my worst movie list. It's still a bad movie, but compared to this and Madam Web, I cannot believe I'm saying that I enjoyed Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2 more than Madam Web. I cannot believe I'm saying that. It should be the other way around. But this film at least knows it's bad. At least knows what it is. At least the film is trying to have fun with it, and I'm hoping that the rest of these Pooh-verse movies does that. Like, the Bambi movie is also coming out this year, so I'm definitely interested to check out that film, like how that film turns out. And the way this film ended, yes, it has an end credit scene. It's trying to be the MCU with this Pooh-verse, and it's showing that this universe is actually happening. And I just cannot believe this is happening. I just cannot believe this is happening. Like, imagine I said Pooh-verse is cinema. Imagine I said that. That's going to be one of the most fucked up things I'm ever going to say on this channel. There's nothing really too much to say about Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2. This is a movie that you have to know exactly what you're going into. This film is still a terrible movie. This is a bad movie. But I gotta say, this movie at least is way better than the first movie, and I gotta say, this movie at least presented what I want the first movie to be. So bad that it's just fun, it's hilarious, there are some really insane kills in the film that I was also killing myself laughing with. And it makes me sort of interested in a way of what's going to happen in this Pooh-verse universe. Man, after this film, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to that. But overall, guys, Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2, for all seriousness, it's still a bad movie, it's still a terrible movie, but at least I had a good time with it. But still, I gotta say, for Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2, this film is absolutely a one big pile of shit. But this is definitely a film that you should definitely watch with your friends, and you will have a fun time with because of how bad the movie is. Sort of like The Room in a way, but with horror film. Definitely check out Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2 if you're into that type of stuff. If you just want to see a serious movie, you're not going to absolutely get that with Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2. Why would you even see that if you want to see a serious movie? Like, come on. Like, come on. So, guys, that is my review for Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below. And what do you think of this Pooh-verse that is happening? Are you curious about where it's going to go? Let me know that in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie-related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.